Now, we talked about the head-to-head bantering yesterday between the WBA World Heavyweight Champion David Haye and Britain's former Olympic champion Audley. Now, they fight each other in Manchester in November, and it all got a little bit tough and nasty yesterday. And I'm delighted to say, I am delighted that they've joined us here this morning because I want to sort a few things out. I say good morning, David. Good morning, Audley. First of all, I thought you were mates in the past. What's happened?
We were many years ago. I haven't talked to him for a few years now, but you know, things went a little bitter when I started achieving my goals. He hasn't achieved his, and I think there's a bit of bitterness started off there. He said a few things in the press, vice versa, and here we are today. Audley,
is this true? Have you said a few things?
Well, you know, of course I've said a few things. I believe David Haye is one of the weakest of the champions, and I want him. And he's got the belt, and obviously I said before I retire I'm going to be a world champion. And David has the belt, and I'm definitely won that belt, so I'm definitely going for David Haye 100%. We were friends, and I believe David Haye has been one-sided in our friendship. I've always been there for him, and now he's a champion. I'm definitely going to go for David Haye, and I'm definitely going to get that belt.
This is all hype, isn't
it?
I mean, come on.
It's fighting talk.
You're not even looking at one another.
Wait until you see what happens in that ring, and then see.
I've had already 4 days of looking at David Haye, and to be honest, I'm ready to fight David Haye now. So it's this is not hype.
He will lose the same way as you're going to lose on the 13th.
Well, that's what you're going to see. That's what you're going to see.
Okay, because we talk about the hype, because some unsavoury things were said in the press conference yesterday. Do we regret anything, or the other day before, do we regret any things we said?
Wait until you see the fight, and then you'll see, okay, I understand why David was so harsh about what he said was going to happen in this fight. You know, I've had 22 of my 24 victories have been by violent knockout. You know, I've perforated eardrums, broken noses, you know, I've dished out concussion, you know, perforated eye sockets. You know, I dish out pain. That's what I do. And you're going to see on the 13th why he's the European champion that can't step to the heavyweight champion of the world. My whole life's been dedicated to fighting. This is what I do. He hasn't. I've been doing this since I was a kid. Before I was 10, I was doing martial arts. I'm a fighting machine.
Audley, you're not going to... Come on, Audley, come on.
I've told David Haye, and I'm telling him again, you are going to be in the fight of your life November the 13th. Every minute of every round, I'm going to be there in your face. 100%.
David, he's a bit bigger than you.
He's a bit bigger than me, but then again, I've already fought and beat the biggest heavyweight champion in history. The guy was 7'2". The guy was 4 or 5 stone heavier than me. You know, he's 2 or 3 inches taller than me.
My left hand's going to land on David Haye at some point in that fight, and it's going to be lights out, and that's the bottom line. David Haye has done good for his career. He's done great for his career. He's won belts, he's won titles, he's unified titles. But that's not going to stop.
See, look
to be fair, I mean, Dave's got a point, because we've been expecting a lot from you, Audley, for quite some time. It hasn't happened. What is going to be so different now?
It's all going to be a raise. You've got to imagine, I've fallen, I've lost, and I've shown real perseverance, real determination, real courage, real British spirit to get myself back in this position.
What have you got in your locker, though, that we haven't seen so far that's going to knock him out?
Well, you don't see, you know... Imagine, I'm an Olympic gold medalist, you don't give them away. I'm the first gold medalist in Britain for 32 years. So the Ring magazine and many other boxing experts had me as the future of the heavyweight division. I obviously fell, but I've shown determination, spirit, courage to get back up. And now I'm at the moment of my destiny, I'm at my door. And David Haye is going to be in a big surprise when he's on the canvas November 13 and I've got his belt.
You're laughing, Sean.
No, I'm really not. No, I don't like fighting talk. I do want to send them to their rooms and say, until you've both calmed down, you won't come out again.
Well, it's not tiddlywinks, you know. This is boxing, it isn't. And it's a serious business in there, and I intend to be real serious on the 13th.
Are you worried about fighting this man? Because we've seen great fights before. I mean, I think about Frank Bruno and Lennox Lewis. I mean, there's a lot of hype around this, and you've got hard act to follow, the likes of Frank Bruno and Lennox Lewis.
Yeah, both those guys, big idols of mine, particularly Lennox Lewis. You know, he was the unified champion. You know, he done everything he ever said he was going to be. He beat every man he ever got in the ring with, and that's one thing you have to respect. He's one of the best British boxers ever. And one day I'd like to go down along the same paths.
Last time you talked about fighting that very big man, and were quite rude. Your mum got cross with you.
Yeah, I know my mum doesn't like him as much as I don't. You know, so I think she'll be backing me this time around.
So she hasn't had a word with you about one or two?
No, to be honest, I haven't answered my phone from her.
I bet you haven't.
Recently, so
all right.
I'll talk to her after the fight.
Listen, thanks. We have to wish you both the best of luck, really.
Thank you.
But I tell you, you can smell the testosterone.
Oh, you can.
Yeah. I don't like it.
Is that what it is?
Sorry.
That's what it is.
Thank you very much, gentlemen.
Thanks
and
very much.
very best of luck.
Thank you, gents.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you very much.
Oh, well, let's get to something slightly
I don't know, it feels really weird in here. You can't you? You
Yes,
can
we
cut the tension
Don't worry,
with a knife.
They'll go in a minute. Now, with the X Factor